sex is not meant to be a secret. It's meant to be private, which is different. Okay, there's a little quote from the All-American Rejects. My dirty little secret, who has to know? The rest of it goes on. Too bad, yeah, I'm too old for that too, don't worry. And it strikes me that one of the problems is, because we've made that whole side of our life and ourselves a secret, when we do deal with it, it tends to get put all out there. Yeah, remember him? You keep things in, and then they kind of explode all over. And there's got to be some kind of middle ground. Not a middle ground, but a solid ground. Where we don't have to be in denial. We don't have to be in your face. We just acknowledge that this is part of life. And one thing about acknowledging that it's part of life, and I want to say this, because Valentine's Day, if you're single, and especially if you're single and you have a lot of friends who aren't, and you're at the age where people are under pressure, I'm seeing this again, talking to middle schoolers, and these are not things I wanted to be thinking about in quite this phase in my life, but there they are. It's not easy to have a bunch of friends going around and running and handing cards to each other and all the rest of it. But acknowledging that it's part of life also acknowledges all the different ways in which life goes. Saying that these relationships and this passion is a part of life isn't a way, doesn't mean, that means you have to have this in your life in order to be a whole person. And all those things that we don't talk about necessarily, we can talk about. You know, and maybe this comes from growing up in a place where people who had committed to live as single people were really lifted up and celebrated. Because it was recognized that was something, they were giving something up. You know, and I look around today and see both people who are married, people who are in relationships, people who are single, all contributing in their own ways, all bringing what we have. And so I just want to make sure everybody knows that to talk about romance, to talk about love, to talk about passion, doesn't mean that you better be in a romantic relationship if you want to do it right. And there's so much pressure on people to be in those relationships, so much the norm, that maybe it would help if we acknowledged that this was a part of life, and then said, you know, to celebrate and lift up the people who are giving so much to friends, giving so much to their community and their families through the life that they've chosen to lead. And chosen is hard because none of us really choose our life. One of the things, the longer I'm married, and the more I live, and the more I realize kind of how dumb I was. And I get dumber. The longer, every year that goes by, I feel dumber. I feel like I was dumber and dumber. I don't know if this happens to you, you know, but my 20-year-old self seemed a lot smarter when I was 25 than it does now that I'm 37. Probably when I'm 62, God willing, my 20-year-old self is going to look really stupid. And yet somehow, me and my stupid girlfriend managed to somehow get together. And you look at all the random things that happen. I won't say random. All the things beyond our control that brought us together. It's kind of weird. And so I won't say it's just a life we choose. But whatever kinds of relationships we end up in, and you never know, I guess, whether you've ended up in it. Amazing things happen. I've seen too many married 80-year-old newlyweds to say that you really know where your life is going. But whatever direction you're going in, whatever relationships you're in or not in, today is a day to celebrate that part of life that's everyone's. That passion, that desire for romance, whatever it is. And I know it's in all of us. It's in all of us because God made it real clear. God put it in all of us. I'm wishing now I had the quote from Genesis. We're made to have that desire. Now, it doesn't mean we're made to have a lot of desires. But today is a day to live that up. However we're living it out, however we're fulfilling it, however we're finding it in our relationships. To not be afraid to talk about it, not even in church, and to go out today and celebrate it in whatever way is right. So for everybody, whatever your situation, I want to say today, happy Valentine's Day. For the invitation today, we're going to sing a song that is not in the songbooks, but honestly, I haven't seen people using the songbooks anyway, and it's a song that you're not going to need to dig it up. We're going to sing Love Divine, All Love's Excellent. So please stand. Let's do it together with the invitation song.